Hi folks, my name is Amy Ditto, and I'm just going to provide you with a few simple tips for posting on social media utilizing some apps on an iPhone. However, these apps are available on Android and should look roughly the same on that platform as well. We're going to start out with learning how to get our images onto our phone if they are not already, if we haven't taken those images utilizing our phone. We're going to learn how to do some correcting of them in case they aren't of the best quality. We are also going to learn how to layer them with other images. In this case, I will be utilizing a template which we are using for a local studio tour, and also then how to add text to those images, all in apps that are free and you can download easily and quickly. And this should really be super useful for those of you that maybe aren't super comfortable doing social media posting at this juncture. So let's get started. Okay, so the first thing that we're going to do is we are going to assume that your images are not on your phone and that you need to get them over to your phone, your mobile device, your iPad, perhaps even. This is very simple. It is just a matter of basically utilizing any cloud service and then installing the app on your phone to move these images over, say, from a desktop system to your mobile device. In this case, I will be utilizing Google Drive, but you might use Dropbox, you might use iCloud, you might use WeTransfer. There are just a whole bunch of different cloud services out there that you might have access to. And any of them are fine as long as they play nice with your phone. Okay, so basically all we need to do in Google Drive is click on the app, open it up, and you'll see that I'm already logged in and have a folder open here that has my images in it that I want to download. All we need to do then is choose an image. So we're going to click on the second one here, which is one of our templates for the Corrales Art Studio Tour that we're going to work with later. All you need to do then is click and hold on that image. You'll see you get a pop-up that says Save to Camera Roll. We're going to click OK, and it's going to download. Boom, done. We can close that. We can go over here and we'll notice there's our template. And so that's that. That's just super easy. Okay, so what I'd like to do, just hopefully fairly briefly in this video, because it is directed at folks that may be utilizing content to create their social media posts that they have created on their phones, is an app called Snapseed. There are other apps out there that can do corrections to your images. Lightroom for mobile is quite capable. It's also more of a paid app. Snapseed is a good free app that has a fair amount of power and will allow you to do some neat things with your images should you want to. And so that's the one that I'm going to show you today. So I'm just going to click on Snapseed. We're going to tap anywhere to open a photo as it suggests. We're going to open from device. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to open up this photo that is something that I snapped earlier. You can see that it's kind of at a funny angle. And, we've got some lighting issues, which we may or may not be able to fix super well with this. Best thing you can do, of course, is make sure everything has proper, even lighting on it. But anyhow, so the first thing that I want to show you is this menu down on the bottom of the app. And you'll see, we're going to click Tools. When we do that, we're going to see a whole bunch of different tools that we can utilize to sort of improve our images. Up at the top, it's mostly focused on corrections. Down at the bottom, we get into things that maybe we might use to add some ambiance, like lens blur and vignettes and some of these other effects. What I want to show you now is, because again, take a look at how funky that is. Certainly not something that I want to post on my social media feed. So what I'm going to do is, the first thing I'm going to do is I am going to crop in a little bit just because I want to get all this other stuff out of the screen or out of the picture. And I also just want to be able to see a little bit better what I'm dealing with. Okay. So there you go. We've just cropped in. So as you can see, you can crop things. And then what we want to do is we want to go to this perspective tool on the second row here, one over from the right. And what I'm going to do is I'm actually just going to see how well the AI does. And so what we're going to do is we're going to click the magic wand. However, you can see there are quite a few different ways that you can try to adjust things that aren't quite right. Anything from tilting, which would, if we went into tilt, you can see we could tilt our image, left to right here, so we can try to straighten it that way. You can, top to bottom, we can try to straighten it like that, but we're not going to do that. So let me go back in there. What I'm going to do is I'm going to click that magic wand, and we're going to see how well the AI does. And it does really well, actually, as you can see. It's done something kind of strange on the upper left up there, but we can crop that out. And it's really gotten that image almost perfectly straightened. So we're going to go ahead and accept that. We're going to go back to cropping. And we're going to see just how happy we are with it by just cropping way in. You may or may not want your frame in the image. I'm going to leave it in. Alrighty, and then we're going to accept by clicking the check mark down on the bottom right, and you can see it's doing pretty darn well. You can see it's off a little bit. You can see that when I cropped in there, the right edge is still probably pushed away from the camera just a touch. I'm not going to worry about that. If you're a real perfectionist, you can go back and fix it in the perspective tool again. But we're going to accept that, and what I'm going to do now is just show you a couple of other things that would allow you to do some other quick cleanups. So we're going to go back to the tools menu. I'm going to click tune image. We're going to use that magic wand again, and we're going to see what it does just to kind of make some quick improvements. That's second from the right again. And you can kind of see something happen there. It raised the brightness a little bit. It raised the contrast a little bit is what it does. You can look at your changes by pressing and holding, by the way, and that's the old image. That's the new. That's the changed image. If we're not happy with this and we want to do a little more, we can go over to these sliders that are third from the right and click this. And now you can see that it added plus 15 to brightness and plus 30 to contrast. But, let's say we want to bring maybe the shadows up just a little bit because, so what we're going to do is, what you do is you slide right to raise something. If we slide left, notice we're bringing them down. Might bring them down just a tiny touch to give that contrast, up that contrast between the dark tones in the image and the light tones in the image a little bit. But that looks pretty good. I might lighten, the exposure on the entire picture a little bit, but I don't think we need to make any more of those sorts of adjustments to it. So we're going to click, we're going to accept that. And then the last thing I want to show you really quickly, let's see here, actually, can we do, well, we can do a curves adjustment. Speaking of, if we want to adjust that image a little bit, that brightens everything up a little bit, so we can accept that. And then we're going to go to our tools, and the last thing I want to show you really quickly was, say you took a quick photo of something, and darn it all, if there isn't a big old clump of dust, or in my case, probably a dog hair, you'll notice this unfortunately, this plaque of this patent is damaged. But what I just clicked was the healing button. And as you can see, what that does for us is you might have noticed, see that little circle in the middle there as we zoom in. It gives us this little healing tool that we can just brush over with our finger, and we can see it starts to make it some improvements to that damaged spot. It looks at least a little less like it's damaged. And, yeah, we could go through the whole image that way. Unfortunately, of course, in this case, there's damage to the text. And so that is, something obviously we don't want to touch. But anyhow, that's a very handy tool should you run into issues like that. We're going to go ahead and accept those changes. And we've already improved on this image dramatically, right? Okay, we're going to go ahead and export this. It's ready to go. So we're going to click export. You have several different options with regards to exporting it. You can share it directly to Instagram if you want. You can open it in another app. You can save it as the same file in your gallery. Or you can save a copy. This is what I usually do. Basically, that'll save it out to your gallery as a separate image. Both save and save as will be editable later. You can go back and reopen them in this app if you want to and change things. Or you can do an export if you're happy with this as a final result, and that will create a JPEG copy with permanent changes. So I'm just going to save copy. And now we can close this app down. And what you will see is it saves right into your gallery roll here, your camera roll here. Wait a minute. There we go. This is the one we started with. And that's what we've got now. So as you can see, a lot more shareable, even as, unfortunately, of course, my plaque is damaged. And that's pretty much all I wanted to show you in Snapseed. You will have to have fun with it and play with a lot of those other features. You can create some kind of neat stuff with it. Okay, so the next app we're going to talk about that I'm recommending that folks for the Corrales Society of Artists wanting to utilize these social media templates that are being sent out to them is Canva. Canva will allow us to layer images together, add text, and do much, much more, which I will not go into, but I will show you how to layer some images together and add a little text. So we're going to open up Canva. And this is a free app, by the way, you guys. It does have some paid features, but you don't need to pay for them for anything. What we're going to do is we're going to go to this purple plus at the bottom here. We're going to click it. And what you will notice is you get a pop-up immediately asking you if you want to add more photos to the list of photos that Canva has access to. We're going to do that. Select a couple, click done. All right. At that point, what we're wanting to do for the Corrales Society of Artists studio tour, the cast tour, is we're wanting to make an Instagram post. Corrales Society of Artists on our social media, we start with Instagram because we can then conveniently share over to Facebook, and those are the two primary social media platforms that that particular group uses. But of course, you can post anything you create on any social media platform that makes you happy. But you'll notice 3 down here on this list is Instagram posts, so we're going to click that. It's going to open up a little window for us, gives us a little canvas. It's going to offer to use templates that we've utilized in the past, but we don't care about that. What we want to do is we want to go down to the bottom here, and we'll see 4 over that the camera roll is listed on this menu over here. We're going to click on the camera roll. And then what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and select a horizontal template. In this case, the ad that I'm going to create will be horizontal, or for horizontal artwork. And I'm going to add that to page. So there's that template. It doesn't quite fit, so we're going to size it up to fill the whole canvas, just like that, using these little handlebars on the side that you can just click and drag. And then if you click anywhere outside of the image, you can get rid of those handlebars, but if you ever need them back, you just go back and click on that image. And there you go, they're back. Okay, but we can see we've got our first layer. Woohoo! Okay, so the next thing we want to do is we want to add some of our own artwork to our social media post. So if we go back down to the bottom, we're going to go over from the left again and click on camera roll. And then what we're going to do is we're going to add an image. I'm going to add sort of the classic favorite of one of my pieces here. And you'll notice it kind of has this little snap to grid thing. It kind of pops around. So it's pretty good at helping us get things centered. And so here we go. You'll notice we got it equidistant, right to left. Looks really good. If we click out of that window, you'll notice it's not crowding text. We've already got a really nice looking social media ad. But if we're not happy with our positioning, we can always go back and click on that again and resize if we need to, or do whatever we need to do. But there you go. We've already layered two things together really rapidly that look really nice. Okay, so the next thing that we want to do is, in this particular case, for the art studio tour, each artist is showing out of a particular venue. My venue is number 28, and so I want to tell people who created this image and where they can find it. So I'm going to go down to the bottom menus again, and you can see 1, 2, 3 over is text, and I'm going to click on that. And it's going to give you some standard options for adding text. I'm just going to choose the add a little bit of body text because I don't want anything huge. The default color on that's going to be black. We're just going to roll with that for a second. We're going to add my text, telling people who I am. Oops, didn't put a space in there. Who I am and what my studio number is. So there we go. I'm going to click done, and you'll notice we've still, after we click done, have this little edit menu hovering above this bit of text. I don't want my text in black. It's not going to be easy to see. So what I want to do is I want to go down to these bottom menus, and I want to slide over to the right, and you can see here you have a lot of options. You have, you can change the font type. You can change text styles, bold, italic, whatever. You can change the size. You can also change the color, and that's what I want to do. And I just want to show you real quick that you really can then add a font any color of the rainbow should you want to. I don't care about that. I don't want to do that. I personally just want my text in white. So there you go. I have flipped it to white. Now, of course, we can't see it on the image right there. So all you have to do is just click and drag that, and you can move it into a part of your image where it can be red. And voila. So basically at this point, we've got, if we click outside here, a social media ad that looks pretty darn good, that tells people everything they need to know about this particular event. And we've done it very quickly in Canva. The other thing you can do is you can resize text if you feel like it's too large. So you can use this little handlebar to make it smaller. Maybe I want to move it down here. I like that a little better. It's smaller, but it'll look fine on social media. So there you go. That, friends, is how you go about creating a social media ad in Canva. And all we then need to do is go ahead and save this image out so that we can go post it on social media. That text is still bugging me on where it's placed. There we go. And so to do that, basically, we're going to go to the upper menus up here. There's this down arrow, second over from the right up top that we're going to click. It's going to do a little bit of magic here. And then what I'm going to do is I'm just going to click Save Image. And that's going to save it out to my camera roll. And really, that's all there is to Canva. You now know how to layer images together and add text. There's so much more you can do with this app that I do encourage you to take a look at. You can add stickers and graphics and all sorts of things. You can draw, on your images. Frankly, the template that we utilized for this particular social media ad was created by me for in Photoshop. However, we could have created something pretty close in this app. So it really is very powerful and very useful, and I do encourage you to explore it. That's it, folks. Have a wonderful day. There it is. There's our template all saved out. Alrighty, folks. Well, guys, shush. And then